Students, today we will learn food security in India, class 9th, chapter 4. Food security means availability, accessibility, and affordability of food to all people at all times. Availability means it should be available to all the people. It must be produced in a sufficient amount of manner that could feed the whole country or whole nation. And accessible means it should be easily accessible to all the person living inside the nation or the country. And affordability means it should be easily affordable to all the person below poverty line or above poverty line, because the people who are above poverty line also faces problem during natural calamity, disaster situation, or famine like situations like droughts, artificially created warfare, and other warlike situations. So we should ensure that we must have sufficient amount of food that could feed the whole nation, or it is the responsibility of government of India to ensure that the whole country should be fed a nutritional diet. Food security mainly depend on the public distribution system and government vigilance and action at times. Whenever there is a threat to food security or food granaries, or if there is any such situation or any problems, then the whole control goes to government's hand. And also government ensure that the uh, excess amount of food that could be produced by farmers of our nation should be purchased at MSP. MSP means minimum support price, that should be given to the farmers who produce enough quantity of food that could be beneficial for the whole nation. According to a UN report, it tells that 195 million people are undernourished in India. It means that 19.5 crore people are undernourished, which is a quarter of the world's hunger burden. It means that it is a huge crisis situation that one fourth of the world's people are undernourished, and we must think of him, and the government should do something for them. Also, roughly 43% of children in India are chronically undernourished. Chronically means severely means that they are not properly fed with good nutritional food. Under India ranks 71 out of 113 major countries in terms of food security index 2020 report. That is not a good mark for India, standing in 113 major countries. That 71 rank is not sufficient. What is food security? Food is as essential for uh, us that as air is to breathe, and we should take food to live, and we take air to breathe, to inhale, and without inhaling we can't live, and that is why food is also as important as air, and we can't survive without food. But food security means something getting more than 2 square meals. It doesn't mean that if we take 2 meals a day, that we can say that we are properly fed, and we are sufficiently fully capable of feeding the whole family or the whole nation, or it doesn't determine that we are totally full flourished. But we should also think of that poor people that does not get proper food, um, even there is no problem while the nation does not face any type of situation, and that is like famine and starvation. But at least I think we that one fourth of the nation is undernourished, means that people, half of the people doesn't have the money, doesn't have an adequate amount of money that they could take nutritional diet. Affordability implies that an individual has enough money to buy sufficient, safe, and nutritious food to meet one's dietary needs. The people's dietary needs must take fibrous food, and all vitamins and nutrients combined food that should improve his body's growth, and also to family needs all the nutritional diets that so we should produce an adequate amount of food that could feed the whole nation. Accessibility means food is within reach of every person. It means that it can be easily accessed by every person in the nation. Food security is ensured in a country only if enough food is available for all the persons. All persons have the capacity to buy food of acceptable quality, and there is no barrier on access to food, and we must ensure these types of qualities. Why food security? The poorest section of the society might be food insecure most of the times, while persons above the poverty line might also be food insecure when the country faces a national disaster calamity like earthquake, drought, floods, and tsunami, widespread failure of crops causing famine, etc. I have already taught you that the some portion of society faces regularly problems while availing food, but also the people who are above poverty line, they also faces problematic situation in famine and drought like situation and war like situation, because there is no because the total production of food grains decreases in these situations, and it creates a shortage of food in the affected areas. Due to shortage of food, the prices goes up. At the high prices, some people cannot afford to buy food. If such calamity happens in a very widespread area or is stretched over a longer time period, it may cause a situation of starvation. Starvation means a prolonged period of time when there is no nutritional diet provided to some people, or some or large amount of people that are not fed with proper proper food. A massive starvation might take a turn of famine. A famine is characterized by widespread deaths due to starvation and epidemics caused by forced use, contaminated water or decaying food, and loss of body resistance due to weakening from starvation. It means that here a term starvation and epidemics are used. Epidemics means a type of disease caused due to taking of contaminated water or decaying food, and there is a loss of body resistance due to weakening from starvation, and it leads to death. Epidemic and a pandemic. Pandemic is caused by coronavirus here recently, and epidemic is a situation which is produced within a specific region or area and in the nation, and the pandemic is a situation where when disease is spread all over the country, all over the world, sorry, all over the world. The most devastating famine that occurred in India was the famine of Bengal in 1943. And the a sharply critical or damaging situation was produced in 1943. That was the famine of Bengal, in which 30 lakh people in the province of Bengal were killed or died due to starvation. Thank you.